Well, on this episode of Moving Our World, I'm getting my notes out. Done some research. But as you can see behind me, we've got a tiny boat. Now, if you're from New Zealand, boats like this are entirely normal. This is what we call a tinny, or a dinghy. It's just a small, I think this thing's 12 foot long. It's 12 foot long. All right, so we're gonna go launch this thing. We're right beside the main highway. We're jumping into our harbour, and the harbour's a super interesting place. Basically, I'll yarn to you about it probably when we get somewhere and have a bit of a stop, but for the moment, you can watch this little thing being launched. We're gonna have 9.9 horsepower of Evinrude power, and I'm absolutely fizzing. Woohoo! So I'm hanging out with Jamie and his daughter. We're going in this thing here, which is a lightweight 12-foot tinny. It's got a Evinrude 9.9 horsepower engine. I think this whole setup cost Jamie about $600. Tauranga Harbour is huge. I think it encompasses about 200 square kilometres. It's got the country's busiest port. So we've got a container port here. When tourism exists and the world's open, we have a lot of cruise ships coming through here as well, all through the summer season. So it's an incredible place, but it's very tidal.
What is that called?
A camera.
Yeah, it's a small camera.
It's a weird camera.
It is pretty weird.
For me. Whoa!
I'll get that out of your way and put that down there.
Why do you have two cameras? Why?
You can point them different ways, get more photos.
Show.
Yeah. Make sure the telltales
Squirt a bit of water and then the thermostat opens and it's good.
There's a couple of ships that are just getting in.
Yeah. I don't like going too far down the harbour. The harbour cops are annoying.
Yes, yeah.
You can fly now.
Yeah, I can float now.
Pull out the boat you have.
Yeah, I've got this, so I'll be okay.
Jump out the back, we'll get more speed. Don't do this to me, babe. It's your problem. Shouldn't be. Usually runs fine. Run around.
That was awesome fun going down there.
I wish we could go further.
See, and then we've got the pole, the pipe, one more. Alright, we're good to go. You'd be hard pressed to find a Kiwi that hasn't had a small dinghy experience in their life. Me personally, every Christmas, kind of New Year's, we'd go up to a family holiday location, and I would be begging to get in our little yellow dinghy. It had a 3.3 horsepower, I think, on it, and it was a little Johnson. This thing here has an Evinrude 9.9, and it's always a comp of the dinghies. He's got the coolest dinghy, the biggest motor. And look at this thing, it's so awesome. Ella just fell over.
I don't like going too far down the harbour. The harbour cops are annoying. The harbour cops are annoying. The harbour cops are annoying.
Good.
Yeah.
Just make sure you go onto the far right. He
Yeah,
just,
well aware of that.
yeah, cool. He was
I
just
was spinning
blasting
it right
his-
around, I think. Sorry.
Harbour Police. So we just got pulled over by the harbour cops because there's a ship coming in. Thankfully Jamie works in the boating industry and understands all the rules and everything that we need to follow. We'll see if we can get some footage of this thing. It's got one of the pilot boats on the right side of it, and I'll show you. How great is it just to be able to pull up here in the inside of the harbour, people enjoying themselves, big boat, paddle boarding, all that kind of stuff. It's very cool. Alright, well I'm just going to chill out while they go get an ice cream. New Zealand's a tiny place, so most of us have all kind of grown up around the ocean or not far, or if we haven't grown up on the ocean, we've definitely experienced it. 119.44 kilometres is the furthest inland point in New Zealand. So obviously that's in a straight line. It's a bit different when you're actually on the roads, you know, it's not 119 k's in a straight line, but you know, it's pretty interesting. This thing here that we're using is a 1987 12-foot lightweight as in L-I-T-E-W-E-I-G-H-T, lightweight tinny, and it's got a 1988, I'm going to stand up, it's got a 1988 Evinrude 9.9 horsepower. It's got a different carb on it, this thing over here, so we've had some issues when we first started out. It wasn't really doing what it was meant to, but we're okay now, and we're way away from where we started, so hopefully it keeps going. The port of Tauranga that we just went through, so that's the country's largest port in terms of total container volume and container throughput. It's got good shelter in all weather, so this geographic formation that we have over here with a mainland and kind of a mountain on the end is called a tombolo, and that's quite a rare geographical formation. So it just means that combined with that land over there that's directly behind me is an island that basically covers the whole harbour. It's about 40 kilometres in length, and I'll show you this in Google Maps to kind of give you an idea about this harbour. It's about 200 kilometres square. The tidal flow and the entrance, which is just between that island and this mountain behind me, can be up to 7 knots. The first harbour bridge that we went under, so there's two of them right beside each other, was built in 1988, and before that you had to do a really long road trip to get to this side of town. And the second harbour bridge they built just because there was more traffic was in 2009. There's 27 major rivers feeding into this harbour. There's 46 minor streams. We went up one of those tiny little rivers this morning and it was super fun. New Zealand's a pretty young country as far as the world goes. Māori people have been around this area, and there's evidence of them occupying kind of Mount Maunganui, Tauranga area from the 12th century onwards. There's been jetties and wharfs and kind of landing areas here since the 1860s was the first time, and it's just been super interesting. I mean, I've lived here since I was born, basically, and it's been 30 years and I don't really explore this place. I go up that mountain quite a bit. It's a really nice mountain. It's 223 or 220 something meters tall. Yeah, it's insane. We've only really explored a tiny amount of this harbour. It goes all the way down there. I think I'm gonna shut up now because Jamie and Ella are back. She's got her ice cream, and yeah, this little dinghy it does the job. I think this set him at $600, and you know, if you like watch videos on YouTube of like Haul Over Inlet in Florida, or it's just, or Miami, I can't remember where it is, somewhere in the States, and these guys all have boats with like, that's alright, with like 5 engines, and they've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. This was $600, and man, I'm having more than $600 worth of fun, I can tell you that much. Yeah. Alright, so it's basically our adventure. I'm not going to talk too much more. We're going to slowly go back that way and going to try catch some fish, and if we catch some fish I'll show you, but otherwise yeah, hopefully we can get some fish, eh? Your ice cream's going to melt, you might want to be quick there.
Go.
There
you go.
Can you pull the boat in for us?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Long story short, so this is where we launched. We went all the way over there, all the way over there. We went up a river over there as well, which is at the start of the video, and it's been a pretty awesome, experience. The lightweight aluminium boat has been insane. It's done so well. This is actually a caravan manufacturer. They make caravans, and this is something else that they've produced. I think they made 200 and something boats all up, and this was from the late 80s. This is also from the 80s, and yeah, I mean, we've been super lucky with its performance. And at the start, it was a bit hairy there, but we kind of think that the choke mechanism was getting stuck on, so we put it on and off a couple of times, and that was all sorted. We're going to put this boat on the trailer, and that's about it. This is a beach launch. This is moving our world, and this is a lightweight aluminium tinny or dinghy with an Evinrude 9.9 horsepower 2-stroke. Definitely moved my world. Bit of a different form of transport for you, but that's the point of the channel. Alright, I think we've got a few more sessions with small boats. Small bike stuff, this is small boat stuff. Alright, catch you up. Thanks for watching. This is Callum, moving our world.